If you are a senior over 60 and your hands or feet have started to tingle, to burn, to feel like they are being stabbed by thousands of tiny invisible needles, or if you have woken up at night because the weight of the bedsheets felt unbearable against your toes, there is something about the biology of what you are experiencing that I want you to understand before I say another word. What you are feeling is called peripheral neuropathy. Peripheral means the outer edges of the body, your hands and your feet. Neuropathy means suffering of the nerves, and it is the most common cause of progressive disability in seniors over 60 that is also, in many cases, partially reversible if it is addressed early enough. The standard medical advice for peripheral neuropathy is to manage the pain. Gabapentin, pregabalin, topical creams. Those medications can help with the symptom, but they do not address the underlying cause. And the underlying cause is something that almost no senior is told about by their primary care doctor, because primary care doctors are not generally trained to think in terms of cellular nutrition and nerve metabolism. The cause is that the long nerves running from your spinal cord down to your feet, the sciatic nerve is the longest single nerve in your body, are slowly starving. They are not receiving enough of the specific fuel they need to maintain their wiring. And the longer the nerve is, the harder it is to keep fed. Your feet are the first to suffer. That tingling you feel is not random. It is the sound of a nerve cell that has been losing oxygen and glucose for years, finally announcing itself. Today I am going to walk you through what is actually happening at the cellular level, the specific form of vitamin B1 that the published research suggests can reach the nerve in ways that ordinary B1 cannot. Why the medications you may be taking right now are quietly making your neuropathy worse, and the lifestyle changes that the published studies show stack the deck in favor of nerve recovery. By the end of this video, you will have a complete picture of the nerve repair pathway and a specific question to bring to your physician at your next appointment. Before we begin, the disclaimer that every senior watching this video needs to hear me say. Do not start any supplement on your own based on what you hear in this video. Do not stop any prescription medication. The decision to add a supplement, change a dose, or adjust a treatment belongs to you and your doctor together, and it requires a conversation that takes into account everything else going on in your body, particularly if you have kidney disease, diabetes, or are taking blood thinners. What I want you to do is take notes and bring this conversation to your doctor. Let's start with the biology. Why are these nerves starving in the first place? The most common driver in seniors is a process called glycation. Picture a fresh raw egg white in a bowl. It is clear and runny. Now picture cracking that egg onto a hot sidewalk in summer. It turns opaque, hard, and crispy. That is essentially what excess sugar does, slowly, to the proteins lining the inside of your blood vessels and your nerves. When blood sugar is consistently elevated, even at levels that fall short of full diabetes, in the range we call pre-diabetes or insulin resistance, it produces sticky compounds called advanced glycation end products. The acronym is, fittingly, AGEs. These AGEs accumulate over years in the tiny blood vessels, the vasa nervorum, that supply the nerves themselves. The capillaries get gummed up. The nerve loses its blood supply. It begins to suffocate. The first sensation that a suffocating nerve sends to the brain is tingling, then burning, then sharp electric shocks, and eventually, if the suffocation continues, the nerve dies. The pain stops. It is replaced by numbness. That numbness is the danger zone. A senior who cannot feel his feet can step on a tack and not know it. A small cut becomes an ulcer. An ulcer becomes an infection. An infection becomes a hospitalization. So intervention has to happen before the silence becomes permanent. And the intervention starts at the level of an enzyme inside your nerve cells called transketolase. Transketolase is your body's built-in defense against the sugar damage. Think of it as a specialized vacuum cleaner that sweeps up the toxic sugar byproducts in the cell and converts them into harmless energy. When transketolase is running at full capacity, your nerves are protected. They stay clean. They stay conductive. The problem is that transketolase has a specific battery. It requires one fuel source to turn on. Without that fuel, the vacuum cleaner sits dead, the sugar damage accumulates, and the nerve degenerates. That fuel is vitamin B1. Thiamine. Most seniors who are concerned about their nerves go to the pharmacy, buy a B complex or a multivitamin, see that it contains B1, and assume they are covered. There is a problem with that assumption. The form of B1 found in nearly every standard multivitamin and in B complex tablets is called thiamine hydrochloride or thiamine mononitrate. Those are water-soluble forms. They are cheap to produce, and they have been the standard for decades. But your body, particularly an older body with reduced stomach acid and a less efficient gut lining, is poor at absorbing water-soluble thiamine into the bloodstream, and even worse at delivering it into the nerve cell itself. The nerve cell sits behind a fatty membrane, and water-soluble thiamine has limited ability to cross from the bloodstream into the nerve tissue itself. The vitamin shows up in the blood, but its delivery into the inside of the nerve cell, where it is actually needed, is limited by this bioavailability and transport problem. You can have apparently normal B1 levels on a blood test and still have functionally starving nerves. There is a fat-soluble derivative of thiamine called benfotiamine. Because it is fat-soluble, it slides through the gut wall, through the blood vessel wall, and through the fatty myelin sheath of the nerve much more efficiently than water-soluble thiamine. Research published in the International Journal of Clinical Pharmacology has found that benfotiamine raises active thiamine levels inside nerve tissue substantially more than equivalent doses of standard thiamine, in some studies, by a multiple. Once benfotiamine reaches the inside of the nerve cell, it activates transketolase. The vacuum cleaner turns on. The sugar damage begins to be cleared. That is the mechanism that the research describes. I want to flag two things that are widely overlooked. The first is that several common medications quietly deplete B1 and B12 in the body, even when you are eating well and taking a multivitamin. Metformin, prescribed widely for type 2 diabetes, is known to interfere with vitamin B12 absorption, and over years it can quietly drive a B12 deficiency that produces nerve symptoms identical to those caused by glycation. Diuretics, particularly loop diuretics like furosemide, prescribed for blood pressure or fluid retention, flush water-soluble vitamins out of the body, including B1. Long-term use of acid-suppressing drugs, the proton pump inhibitors, reduces the stomach acid required for B12 absorption from food. Each of these medications is appropriate for the condition it treats. The point is not to stop them. The point is that they create a separate nutritional cost that needs to be addressed, and most patients are not told about it. The second is the role of a second nutrient, alpha-lipoic acid, also called ALA, which a substantial body of research has examined for the treatment of diabetic neuropathy. Unlike most antioxidants, which work either in water or in fat, alpha-lipoic acid works in both environments. That allows it to enter every region of the nerve cell, including the watery interior and the fatty membrane. In Germany, alpha-lipoic acid has been approved as a medical treatment for diabetic neuropathy for years, and the published evidence supports a reduction in oxidative stress at the nerve level and improvements in nerve conduction velocity. There is one practical note. Most cheap alpha-lipoic acid supplements contain a 50-50 mixture of two molecular forms, R-lipoic acid, which is the form your body naturally produces, and S-lipoic acid, the synthetic mirror image. The R form is much better absorbed than the S form. If you are going to discuss alpha-lipoic acid with your physician, the stabilized R-lipoic acid version is what the research suggests is the more bioavailable form. A third pillar of nerve nutrition is vitamin B12, but specifically the active form, methylcobalamin. B12 is required to build and maintain the myelin sheath, the fatty insulation around every nerve in your body. Without enough active B12, the wiring shorts out. Many cheap B12 supplements contain cyanocobalamin, a synthetic form that has to be converted by the liver into the usable form before the body can use it. Methylcobalamin is already in the active form, ready for the body to put to work. If your physician confirms a B12 deficiency on blood work, the active form is the one to ask about. I want to be careful about one specific risk. Vitamin B6, pyridoxine, is genuinely important for nerve function. A deficiency causes nerve damage. But, And this is the unusual part. Chronic high doses of synthetic B6, particularly pyridoxine hydrochloride at doses in the hundreds of milligrams per day taken for months on end, can paradoxically cause nerve damage itself. The body cannot easily clear excess synthetic B6, and it accumulates in nerve tissue. So if you are looking at a nerve support formula, check the B6 content. If it is 100 milligrams or more of pyridoxine hydrochloride, that is too much. The safer form is the active P5P, pyridoxal 5-phosphate, and the safer dose is modest, generally under 50 milligrams a day, unless a physician has specifically prescribed more. More B6 is not better. The right form and the right dose is better. There is also the role of the environment you are creating around the nerves. You can take every research-supported supplement in the world, and if the lifestyle is pouring sugar and inflammatory oils into the system every day, the underlying damage continues to accumulate. The two biggest lifestyle drivers of nerve damage in seniors are liquid sugar, soda, fruit juice, sweet tea, and industrial seed oils, the cheap vegetable oils like soybean, corn, and canola that dominate processed food. The liquid sugar spikes blood glucose faster than any solid food can, which overwhelms the transketolase enzyme we discussed earlier and produces a wave of glycation damage. Industrial seed oils, in the high quantities found in processed foods, are associated with chronic low-grade inflammation in the published literature, and reducing their share of daily calories is a reasonable dietary move alongside the rest of this discussion. Switching to water, plain tea, or black coffee in place of sweet drinks, and switching from seed oils to olive oil, avocado oil, butter, or coconut oil at home is among the highest leverage changes a senior can make to reduce the ongoing damage to the nerves. There is one phenomenon that I want every senior considering this approach to be prepared for. It is called the awakening. When a person who has had long-standing neuropathy starts a nerve nutrition approach, some patients have reported a temporary increase in tingling or sensation before symptoms improve. This is sometimes described as the nerve waking back up, in the same way that a foot that has fallen asleep is uncomfortable when the blood flow returns. But, and this is important, any new or worsening symptom, particularly severe pain, sudden weakness, or any new neurological sign, should be reported to your physician promptly rather than assumed to be the awakening pattern. Numbness was the silence. Tingling is the line coming back online. The progression that the published case reports describe is from numbness to tingling to burning to normal sensation. If this is happening to you, the appropriate response is to call your physician and confirm that the awakening pattern fits what you are seeing, not to stop the protocol on assumption that things are worsening. Of course, severe pain or any new neurological symptom always warrants prompt medical evaluation. So to put this into a specific conversation you can have with your doctor at your next appointment, the question to ask is whether a trial of benfotiamine, stabilized R-alpha lipoic acid, and methylcobalamin would be reasonable for your specific situation, and whether there are any reasons in your individual medical history, kidney function, chemotherapy, medications, allergies, that would make any of those supplements inappropriate for you. The discussion should include realistic expectations. The published research suggests improvements over a window of several months, not days. The discussion should also include the lifestyle dimension, cutting liquid sugar and seed oils, getting a short walk after meals to lower the post-meal blood sugar spike, and ensuring adequate magnesium intake, which the research has linked to reduced nerve pain signaling and better sleep. Magnesium glycinate taken at night is one of the better tolerated forms for most seniors. There are a few specific situations in which extreme caution is required. If you are currently undergoing chemotherapy, antioxidants like alpha-lipoic acid can in some cases interfere with the action of certain chemotherapy drugs, so the oncologist needs to weigh in before any supplement is added. If you have chronic kidney disease, your nephrologist needs to review any new supplement because the kidneys process most of these compounds, and impaired kidney function changes how they accumulate. If you are on blood thinners, any supplement that affects platelet function or vitamin K should be cleared first. These cautions are not reasons to avoid the conversation. They are reasons to have the conversation with the right doctor in your specific case. So the final summary. Peripheral neuropathy in seniors is not just a pain management problem. It is a metabolic problem rooted in nerve starvation, glycation damage, and depletion of specific B vitamins by widely used medications. The standard water-soluble forms of B1 in most multivitamins do not efficiently reach the inside of the nerve cell. The fat-soluble derivative benfotiamine, alongside stabilized R-alpha-lipoic acid and methylcobalamin, has research evidence supporting its role in addressing the underlying cause rather than only masking the symptom. The lifestyle dimension, eliminating liquid sugar, reducing industrial seed oils, walking after meals, and replenishing magnesium, multiplies the effect. Done together, these interventions give a deteriorating nervous system a genuine chance at partial recovery, particularly when started before complete numbness has set in. If you found this video helpful, share it with one senior in your life who has tingling or burning in the hands or feet and is being told to live with it. Subscribe to the channel for daily senior health warnings every single day at 5 p.m. Eastern. And take care of yourself out there. Your nerves are designed to heal when they are given the right fuel in the right environment. Bringing the right question to the right doctor is the first step. Thank you for watching.